Hi, my name is Ali Hashemian and I'm a pharmacy manager working with Daily Company. I have taken this opportunity to speak to you all about my experience with dealing with anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock is a severe, potentially life-threatening allergic reaction that can develop rapidly and can cause life-threatening responses. It can be triggered by anything, however most common triggers are insect stings, particularly wasp and bee stings, which are common during the summer months in England. Peanuts and tree nuts, other type of foods such as milk or seafood, certain medications such as antibiotics or even NSAIDs. People of all ages can be affected. However, you tend to find people with atopic eczema and asthmatics are more affected. As an example, a member of my family was in the armed forces serving in a Falkland War and thankfully survived. Then while in Africa he was stabbed in the leg and he saved his own life by stitching it himself. A few months ago he was at home cleaning out the garage and almost got killed by a simple moth. The moth fell on his face and he instantly went into the anaphylactic shock and was hospitalized for the night. In the UK there are about 20 deaths a year, which can be prevented with the awareness and the swift action. I've had to deal with the 2 incidents of severe anaphylactic shock cases in the time that I have been qualified pharmacist and managed to deal with it correctly, thank goodness. The first occasion I was working in my pharmacy and the husband of the patient ran into the pharmacy and explained what had happened to his wife to my counter assistant. Then she quickly asked me to speak to the gentleman. To get more information, it transpired that his wife had got stung by a wasp and she had difficulty breathing. They were on their way to A&E, but they got stuck in heavy traffic and my pharmacy was in their way. I took the EpiPen and ran into the car with the patient where the patient was sitting down. I tried to get the patient name, however she was too breathless to reply. She was wheezing and very lightheaded. It was then when I decided to inject EpiPen. At the same time my colleague Wendy contacted the 999 for an ambulance. By the time the ambulance arrived, breathing was slightly relieved but more manageable. It is important to keep them calm, and thankfully my dispenser Wendy was absolutely amazing and she sat down with her for the whole time and even managed to make her smile in the situations that she was. Ambulance arrived and started giving her the IV antihistamine and took her to the hospital. A few weeks later she came back bringing us a box of chocolates to thank us for saving her life. I was so excited myself at the time. It was something I've never thought I would deal with. The second incident was only 2 weeks ago. The day I was actually wanted to make this talk for you. I shut the pharmacy and forgot to take the medication for delivery. So I came back to pick them up. The patient with the partner came to the pharmacy and I asked them to leave. But they told me that this is an emergency, if I could do anything for them. She didn't have much of a problem at the time, any breathing problem, but she was quite agitated and her skin was quite itchy. She told me, when I spoke to her for a while, she told me that she got stung previously and she got hospitalized. As we were speaking, I could see her face was actually swelling up and she was progressively getting worse. So I put her in front of air conditioning because she was getting quite hot and I asked her that I need to inject the EpiPen for her. She agreed at the time and I injected the EpiPen and I wanted to contact the 999 but they decided to go directly to hospital themselves. So I got all the information and contacted the hospital to let them know what I've done so far because I gave them an antihistamine initially to see if she was getting better and after that injected the EpiPen. I hope sharing my experience was useful to you. My advice is to be prepared because you never know when you're going to be needing these skills. Thank you for your time. Bye.